All right, ladies and gentlemen, time for another episode, Master Moats film session, baby. We're talking about the Steelers in their Week 5 matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles, and in particular, we're going to be breaking down Chase Claypool and a couple of his touchdowns that he had. And this play right here that we're going to start off talking about is Chase's 5-yard touchdown pass in the third quarter. Big play at that time, man, really expanding the lead. So we'll play it at full speed, and then after that, we'll break it down. Score one for the good guys, baby. All right, so to start it out, the Steelers are using a very unique personnel group at the NFL level. You don't see this a lot. It's 22 personnel, meaning you got 2 running backs on the field, James Conner, Trey Edmonds right here. Shout out to him, man. First game up this season. And then the 2 tight ends they're using is Vance McDonald and Eric Ebron. So you notice there are no other wide receivers out here outside of Chase Claypool who they have in the backfield. Now, when we talked about the Matt Canada element, the Matt Canada wrinkle that he's bringing to the offense, it's these type of formations and these type of personnel groups where you sneak a wide receiver into the backfield like this and you bring out 22 personnel. Typically 22 personnel is going to do what? As a defense, is going to make you bring out your bigger body guys, because you're thinking 22 personnel is traditionally running formations. But what the Steelers are doing right here, they're trying to get bigger bodies out here, but then put them in funky groups to make them have to operate in space, which is a great job by them. It's a great job by Canada and Randy Fichtner in terms of finding different ways to put stress on the defense. So once you motion Claypool out the backfield, starts out as a 3-by-1 formation, right? 3 receivers on one side. You had Ebron by himself. Now, once you motion, now you get this diamond formation, right? Or as we call it, quads. 4 receivers or 4 eligible receivers on one side, Ebron on the backside. And the reason I like this is because Ben has an option here, okay? So in this scenario, he's going front side, but you also, if you felt good in the matchup and you like this, you could go Ebron on the backside, fade ball, potentially one-on-one stuff. Now, what the Eagles did to combat that, they put Darius Slay there, their top corner, on Ebron to kind of discourage that, okay? So good job by them in that department. But the thing that I love here is once you get this 4-by-1 set, not only does it stress the defense out in terms of making these three defenders have to communicate, but also they have to be able to win their gaps in terms of if it was a run or a now pass like what Ben did do. It's going to make those guys have to defeat their blocks and make a tackle on a big bodied receiver. Interior guys, they're accustomed to that. They're accustomed to taking on blockers, getting off of the block, making a tackle in the hole. These guys over here, that's not what they do. So as we begin to start this play in slow motion, once Claypool gets set up, you see these guys over here start communicating. They're checking, okay? So they're going to be running a man-to-man defense right here. And now once the ball is snapped, the way it's going to work is this, okay? James Conner has this end guy right here, okay? Vance has this point guy, and then Trey has this guy over here. The safety, this is Rodney McLeod. He's your free hitter, okay? And essentially, if you're on defense, the way you would want to stop it is this. You want to force the ball back to your free hitter, okay? So that means this guy has to get in between James Conner and Vance McDonald. 47 has to get in between Vance McDonald and Trey Edmonds. And then Jalen Mills has to be the force guy outside of Trey, forcing the ball back to who? Your free hitter, which is the safety, who'll be on the inside. What ends up happening is this, though. So as the play starts, great job by Vance McDonald, okay? And the reason why I say Vance is this, because he's going to be the guy who wins most convincingly. Now, do they all get hat on the hat? Yes. But we talked about the different gap assignments. So you see, as the safety comes inside, he's ready to have this area right here, this gap right off of James Conner on his right side. This guy will be on his inside. This guy has to get his hat on the front side of Vance, and this guy has to get his hat on the front side of Trey. But you see Vance has his helmet outside of him. He's won already on his first step. And now from there, now it's developed a little bit more. And now you see, okay, this defender won, right? He's forcing the ball back. But Trey, good job keeping your feet moving. James, hat on the hat. But technically this guy is in his gap, okay? And now you still have the free hitter. He's ready to make a tackle. The problem is 47 does not get his hat across. Vance to get in that gap, and now that's your hole for the touchdown. Great job by Vance. We talk about Vance McDonald this year. He's been doing a phenomenal job as it pertains to blocking, and right here is a prime example of that and why this becomes a touchdown. By Vance reaching that guy and ultimately keeping him out of his gap, it gave Chase Claypool the opportunity to run away from that free defender, which was the safety there. Great execution. I love the wrinkle by Matt Canada and Randy Fiechner. And ultimately, great job by these guys up front, getting a hat on a hat. But more importantly, Vance saying, I'm not going to just win. Or I'm not going to just stalemate. I'm going to make it where I get you out of your gap. I'm going to scoop you. And great job by doing that. And ultimately, you're able to get a touchdown for the good guys right there. But a lot of detail right there in terms of just how you want to move the Eagles and the different things you could do to put a little bit of strain on them. And they did a great job in that department. And like I said, man, great job by Vance clearing the house. And now you're able to score. But once again, right here from the end zone, you can really see it. Slow it down. Right there. That's the difference right there. He is not, nope, not in his gap. He has to be right there. Otherwise, you do not have a chance, baby. And there was no guarantee that he was going to be able to tackle Chase. Chase is a big grown man, and we've already seen how difficult he is to tackle. But this is the sight right here, man. Right now, it's a hat on a hat. He's filling in. He's the free hitter. He's kind of right in his area. As it plays out, though, that's bad business, baby. And rule of thumb for all my young linebackers or secondary defenders out there, you never want to spin in the run game. You saw 47 at the end of the play spin his back. It looks cool on a highlight. It looks cool in a movie. But in football, man, if you're spinning during the run game, number one, you're getting blocked out of this world. But number two, you lose sight of where the ball is going. And when you spin like that, man, the odds of you making the play are less than 50%. So you just typically don't want to do that. But ultimately, man, like I said, really good job by the Steelers on offense. And good job by these guys up front. Chase, once again, man, impact, finding ways to impact the game, which he did in a major way this game. All right, now in this next play, we're going to talk about Chase Claypool's 32-yard touchdown in the second quarter. Big time play, of course. But you know how we do, man. We're going to play it at full speed and then we'll break it down. And this Chase at the bottom of the screen right here. Have yourself a day, young man. Have yourself a day. All right, so with this particular play right here, man, it's a simple formation in terms of being 2x2. Two receivers up here, two receivers down here from a formation standpoint. Obviously, you got James Conner offset to Big Ben's right. Now, the Eagles on defense, they are showing a too high shell. Too high meaning you got your two safeties up high, okay? And initially, it looks as if they're going to be playing some type of split safety coverage, right? When you talk about cover two, that guy having that half, this guy having that half, could be a cover four where he's in this area between the numbers and the hash. He's numbers to the hash. Then the DBs are both vertical carrying, or it could be cover six or some form of combination of split safety coverage. But once the ball is snapped, they morph into a man-to-man coverage, okay? And the way we could tell is when this DB starts walking down, okay? Now from there, all of these guys have decided to match up. He's kind of your hole or rat defender, the guy who's just going to be reading Big Ben's eyes. Wherever Big Ben goes, that's where he's going to be looking to feather to that side and things like that. But the reason why this play is so nice and it doesn't take a lot is because it highlights two things. Number one, it highlights Chase Claypool and his release, because he makes sure that you can't get hands on him and he ends up spinning the defender. But on the flip side, it shows from a defender standpoint. We talked about the guys that have been really good in terms of press man coverage are guys that get their hands on the receivers. They play bump and run coverage, not just and run. Okay, and right here, we're going to see what happens in terms of, let's slowing it down. When we started out, this guy does not get any hands on Chase. He does nothing to disrupt the timing of Chase's release. And ultimately, if you give a guy like Chase a free release, which he does, now you're in it. Now you're scared. You feel a little bit of concern because you've allowed this guy to get even with you without you ever putting a hand on him. Now Chase is going to have a free release, and now Jalen is doing what you're supposed to do as a DB. If you feel like you're about to get beat, or you feel like this guy is coming up on you too fast, you speed turn, you get out of there, you speed turn out of that to get into your running phase, right? Out of the back pedal. But now it's too late. Now, because of the speed turn that Jalen was doing in terms of getting out of that back pedal, that transition from a back pedal to a sprint, now Chase has been able to not only get even, but separate. And now, as a defender in cover one, you do know you have help high and late. Okay, so high in the middle of the field, which it is, but it's late because it's downfield. From here, this is where tackling becomes key. This is why when we talk about the safety position and how you want a guy who's a short tackler, it's important because they're the last line of defense. And if they miss a tackle, that's the difference between a 20-yard gain and a touchdown. So right here, once Chase is able to make Jalen spin around, now it's one-on-one with the safety. This picture right here, he's the last line of defense to keep Chase from scoring a touchdown. If he's a short tackler, or if he gets across Chase's face and make Chase stop his feet, the cavalry can get there. This guy, though, misses the tackle. Takes a bad angle. It wasn't a terrible angle, but just enough where he ends up helmet behind him, not helmet in front. And at the safety position, something that Coach Tomlin talked about a lot, and everybody knows his background as a defensive coordinator. He talks about at the safety position how when you're choosing your angle, in terms of when you're coming down to make a tackle or to give support in the running game, you only get one opportunity to get the correct angle, because these guys are too fast. If you guess wrong, if your angle is wrong, you're behind them. Now it's a touchdown. This is why he always talks about the angles. He's always talking about visualize the angle. See it first with your eyes and then commit your body. This guy right here commits his body to it, but he ends up being on a bad angle. Whereas if he would have used his eyes a little bit better, he would have been a little bit more ahead of him in this regard, and ultimately made Chase have to come back to where he had other defenders to help him. It's critical. It's a small detail, but it is a very, very large detail in terms of wins and losses on that particular play. And right here, number one, like I said, no hands on him, free release. That's bad business. And then right here, he just chooses a bad angle. When you're coming down, see where he's going, gauge it. But you can't guess wrong, man. If you have a bad angle at the safety position, it usually results in touchdowns, and that's what you're getting right here. No matter how much these guys are running, no matter how many guys are on the ball, because that safety allowed Chase to cross his face like that, he took a bad angle, you get a touchdown. Like I said, phenomenal job by Chase, though, and even better throw, man. You look at this throw, Ben puts the ball on Chase where he can, number one, catch it, but number two, catch it and keep going. You love to see that. That's pinpoint accuracy, man. Put it right on him, give him a chance to catch it and run, and that's where you let the big guy do what he does best. And I love the celebration. Euro! And here we go again right here from the end zone. Beautiful. Dime. Bad angle. You got to make that tackle right there. Just slow it down one more time so you can just see the angle when he's coming out of this thing. See right here, you can't guess wrong, man. You get one shot at that angle. One shot at it, man. Right there, you have to know how you want to attack this. If you're 22, you don't want to come right here. You're not faster than Chase. You're not going to make it. Probably want to take more of that angle. Slow playing it, though, right? To make sure that he's not obviously just going to cut it upfield. Slow play it, but you definitely want to be a lot flatter across because you got help. You got 1, 2, 3 guys in the picture. But when you take the angle that he took, which is what? I'm going to come downhill like this. Too late. Head behind. And now none of those guys are going to catch this young man right here. But like I said, man, great job by the offense and Euro. So, hope you enjoyed the breakdown, man. I did. Looking forward to another big game this weekend, man. So keep tuning in. I appreciate you. And until next time,